Hold on. External. Hey there, this is Pam Perry. So we are here for Pam Perry's picks for the month of February because our cover girl was January, Dr. Monique Caradine. But we're going to talk about her book. And the book is called How to Embrace Your Inner Millionaire. Yes, that's right. So we're going to be on Amazon Live, LinkedIn Live, and we're also on YouTube. And so we're going live right now. Ready to go live in one, two, three. Here we go. Hey there. So, this is a book we're talking about today, and I have the author with us today. I'm so excited. So, Monique Caradine-Kitchens wrote this book a few years ago. Breakthrough book, small, simple book, but such big impact, especially on my life. I read it in 2017 when it first came out. 8 simple steps you can take right now that will put you on the path to abundance. So, Monique Caradine-Kitchens is known as the Overflow Coach. She helps women fix their relationship with money so they can stop worrying about it, stressing over it, and chasing after it, and finally start manifesting more than enough of it. She's helped hundreds of women develop a foundation for lasting wealth through her step by step coaching program and workshops. That's what she does.
Thank you. I'm here with the queen.
Oh my God. This is so, so good. You know, I love this cover too. So, last time we talked about this book, you didn't tell me about the cover. So, tell me about the cover with that. If people can see this little part right here, the ball that you're holding here, give me the story behind that.
That ball is famous and infamous. And it's funny that you bring it up because I'm trying to remember where I got that ball from. I think I saw it. Somebody had it at a conference.
Okay.
And I was like, I love that ball. And she was like, here, you want it? You can have it. So for several years, Pam, I took that ball with me everywhere. It became synonymous with my brand. I would speak with it, take pictures with it, and it wound up on the cover. So
I
thank you,
love it.
whoever gave me that ball. I appreciate it.
And that's ask and you shall receive, right? Because that's one of the things. It's like certain things that we're attracted to. It's like, well, why am I attracted to this? And that's because of the overflow. So let's talk about a little bit about the overflow movement and how you are actually teaching women to live in the overflow, but you're also a overflow coach and what that all means as well.
Yeah. The overflow movement is something that was divinely inspired. As you know, Pam, I lived on the beautiful island of Puerto Rico for almost 10 years. And I
Wow.
remember when we first moved there from Chicago, it took me a little bit to get adjusted. Like, right, going from Chicago to Puerto Rico, like that's a major, big.
Hmm.
So I had taken some time off to kind of really allow myself to integrate into this new culture I was in because I was experiencing a lot of resistance and frustration, a lot of like it seemed like I wasn't able to achieve what I was trying to achieve. And so I was like, let me just go chill out for a minute, take a break. And I went out on the beach and spent a couple of days out there because I was like, I just need to hit a reset button.
Hmm.
Spent a couple of days on the beach, and I remember just sitting on the sand, didn't have a chair or anything, no towel, blanket, nothing. I was just sitting my butt down on that sand, and I was just looking out into the water. It was so beautiful, looking out into the ocean, and I heard God say, "This is what I want you to show them." I'm just looking out at water. I'm saying to myself, this is beautiful. And God is like, I want you to show them overflow, what overflow looks like. Now,
Hmm.
obviously, you can't give people an ocean,
Right, right, right.
right? But as I began to continue to receive revelation about what God was saying to me, he was saying, I want you to show them that they are worthy of having more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
And not just money. See, this is important.
Mm-hmm.
Not just more than enough money, not just more than enough wealth, but what would it look like if Black women had more than enough freedom in their day,
Ooh.
enjoy their days, and not always be working, working, working? What if Black women had more than enough peace, more than enough joy, more than enough love, more than enough of whatever we desire?
Creativity. Mm-hmm.
What would that look like for us? So let's begin to explore what overflow means for you and me.
Mm-hmm.
And while I love all these movements towards six figures and seven figures and eight figures and nine figures and so on and so forth, that's all great. But what God revealed to me is that overflow is more than just money. It
Mm-hmm.
is a feeling of that inner abundance. That's why I named the book Embrace Your Inner Millionaire,
Millionaire. Mm-hmm.
because wealth and abundance always starts from the inside out.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that you talk about, and you have it on the Speakers Magazine page, about the four types of people who money is flowing abundantly, whom money is flowing abundantly to right now,
Yeah.
and how that is those four things, and then how to uncover your hidden profit potential. And a lot of it is just things that we take for granted, or gifts or talents that we bury. The real reason why you should aim to embrace your inner millionaire, how to set bold money goals, how why your friends might be keeping you broke. I want you to talk about that a little bit, just a little bit. Don't call no names now. Don't call no names. But
Try not to call names. Your inner circle, Pam, you already know this, but your inner circle is extremely important. They could either be helping you to achieve the money goals that you have, or they could be keeping you broke. Now, that's not a slight against anybody in particular, but what I'm saying there is that we need to all have a space, right, within our inner circle where we can normalize conversations about money and generational wealth and overflow and what that means for us. So, for example, I mean, when you go out to brunch with your girls on a Saturday or Sunday, right, it's okay to, start the conversation off. We kiki, we have a couple of adult beverages and we talk about hair and fashion and, who was on the reality shows this week. But at some point, we have to have a space, I believe, where we're talking about, so how you doing with your savings, sis?
mm-hmm.
How have you finished your estate plan, sis? Have you put
Ooh,
together your will and your trust? Have you started your business yet? How's
yes.
that new passive income stream going? Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like we have to have friends that we can talk to about our wealth and abundance. You don't have to reveal everything that's going on in your bank account. We don't have to talk about all this complicated stuff like, you know, complicated things, but just basic fundamental conversations, because I care enough about you, Pam, that I want to know that you're, definitely cultivating this habit of saving fundamental
Mm-hmm.
stuff. We got to talk about
Mm-hmm.
crypto and Bitcoin and all this other stuff. I just want to know that you have made sure that your daughter is set up well, and her kids, even though she doesn't have them yet. But I just want to make sure that we're thinking about what our legacy looks like for our kids, great grandkids, great great grandkids that we may never meet. And I
Mm-hmm.
just feel like our inner circle should be a space where we can have those conversations,
Yes. Yes.
because that matters, right?
And I appreciate you're the cover of and of the January issue. Your story is in there. I just see some people over here commenting. She's a Sonia over here, Keith. She's a master podcast coach over there. Yes, yes. One of the things that I appreciate you having now, part of my inner circle, is the fact that you text me something the other day about a grant for founders, and I just appreciate that. Where you sent me, it's the Boss Network, I guess it was Kamika's. She was doing this thing, and you sent it to me. You didn't have to. It's like, well, Pam got it. She got, but because of that, the way it's like we're talking to each other, like, hey, don't miss out on this money. It's like this is that grant. She says, and basically right after the text, it says, I just want to see you continue to grow and flourish. And that was like just even more so than then the note was just the fact that you were thinking about me. And that's what friends do. They think about each other, and they really try to see each other grow and flourish. If there is a scholarship, so maybe I have kids that are out of high school, but if I know of a scholarship for a high school student, I'm going to think, who do I know that I can send that information to get that grant or to get that scholarship for them? And that's one of the things that we're talking about, overflow, where you're always in the state of trying to increase others, and then you increase as you go. That's
Good.
really, really key. I love that. And then the last one, you says, why gratitude is part of your wealth building strategy. Okay. So talk about your gratitude uh process, I guess you say, or one of the things that you do with the gratitude when you coach the ladies. What do you have them do?
You know, I'm glad you brought that up. And literally felt something shift inside of me when you mentioned the word gratitude, and that it is a part of my wealth building strategy, because it is. I've learned in the midst of many difficult, challenging situations that it's important to be able to say thank you even in the midst of that, because when you can say thank you when things are difficult,
Mm.
what you do is you create a shift in the supernatural. Now, I ain't finna get all, churchy and spiritual on y'all, because, we ain't come here for all that. But literally, when you can feel gratitude when things don't look like you want them to with your eyes, we have to be aware of what's happening in other realms. I'm trying not to go there, Pam, but I can't help it.
Right, right. No, that this is part of the secrets that are in the book. That's
Yeah.
one of the things I want you to go in there, and it was really life changing for me as well. Mhm.
Gratitude opens up something. Gratitude has the power to break strongholds. Gratitude has the power to break old yoke. Gratitude has the power to break old disempowering beliefs. When you can say thank you in the midst of your bank account does not look the way you want it to. When you can say thank you in the midst of a bankruptcy or loss of a job or things like that,
Mhm.
something opens up, and then suddenly you start to see resources coming to you, opportunities coming to you, ideas, $1 million ideas will begin to flow. And so I know it sounds a little esoteric and maybe not everybody gets it, but the people who get it. And I just
Mhm.
really encourage the people that I work with to in, incorporate gratitude into your daily meditation, prayer, habits, or practices, because it truly does have an impact that I probably am not explaining very well right here. But just trust me on this one, it makes a difference.
It does. And it's almost like when you say, um the car that you have is maybe not the car that you want, but
Right.
take care of the car and be appreciative of the car that you have,
Yes.
or the house. Just because you don't like the house that you live in right now, take care of it, put flowers out, paint it, get candles, whatever. Be appreciative of where you are right now. I tell that to my daughter. She wants a new car. It's like, make it a habit to always have it clean, keep it clean, keep it organized, the things, no french fries on the floor and all that kind of stuff. Just making sure, you want this brand new car, and it's like, well, you ain't even taking care of the one you got right now. Okay, so why don't we do this? So in the same thing, you talk about money in the wallet. So explain that too, about the purse factor, I guess you would say.
The purse factor. I might use that. So essentially, money and wealth and abundance, those things can't thrive in a chaotic environment. And just like anything, I mean, if you notice, when my desk is a little bit cluttered or my office, it's like the ideas can't flow. I can't be as productive as I need to be.
Yes.
And so one of the first things, again, I deal with fundamentals, Pams. I don't do nothing complicated. I don't do anything that's hard. I deal with the fundamentals. So when you are on this path to increasing your abundance or your money, you want to make sure that you have order in those spaces that hold your money. So that means your purse, your wallet should be organized. Get rid of the old receipts, get rid of the gum wrappers, get rid of, the bobby pins and the old crumbs from those cookies or those peanuts that you threw in the purse. Make sure that your wallet, if you still carry your cash, that your cash is organized in denominational order and all of the bills are organized flat, because you want the spaces where you keep your money to be organized and not chaotic, because money cannot thrive in a chaotic environment. Money is energy.
Mm-hmm,
Make sure
mm-hmm.
your space is organized and clean.
It is organized. And one of the things that you talked about is about clearing out clutter. And you have a workshop that you've done or that you do about clearing out the clutter.
Yeah, this is a really fun exercise. You want to clear out all money clutter, because again, that clutter can create a bottleneck for the more that you're going for. So you want to clear out clutter, and here's an example of money clutter. We just finished with the holidays not too long ago, and some of you received gift cards. Now, I'm gonna make a confession here. There used to be a time when I would get gift cards and I wouldn't spend them right away, because it's like, oh, it's a gift card, but I don't know whatever the reason is. And so those gift cards would just stack up in my wallet and just sit there, sometimes for years.
Oh my God.
That's money clutter, because what happened is someone gave you a gift
You want
and you didn't
circulate.
open your gift.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
who in their right mind would take a gift from someone and not open it? Like, so what you're doing when you get those gift cards and you don't spend them is
Blocking the
you're
flow.
creating clutter and you're blocking the flow. Somebody
Mm-hmm,
gives you a gift, you got to open it. You got to show appreciation for it. So
mm-hmm.
eliminate unused gift cards. Spend those gift cards and don't spend them on your kids. That's for you.
Right, right. People were trying to bless you, so make sure that it's flowing. So
Exactly.
that one of the things, step 8 in this one, it says create your own economy. And before you kind of get into that, this is one of my favorite chapters, and I think I have some highlights on here. It says, so let's begin to uncover your hidden potential. What can you do to create a new active or passive income stream? Ideally, this income stream should reside at a place where your unique talent and expertise collide with the thing you would collide with the thing that about you that are deeply passionate. That rich intersection is exactly where you will uncover new potential income stream. I
Mm,
highlighted that. And so it says here are basic 12 ideas, and I want to give the whole book away. It says that here are 12 basic ideas, things that you can do to create a new income stream for your life or your business. Number one, share your expertise. Host a workshop teaching people how to solve a common problem. Charge a fee for the people to attend or sell something at the workshop. People love learning and they love connecting with others. The other one, that's why you're on the cover of Speakers Magazine. Start speaking for
hey,
pay. How about that? That's one of the things why you're on the cover of the magazine. Write a book to create a program focused on the core ideas of your book. License a brand. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. So you have Overflow now, which is your brand. You
that's
know,
it.
that's your
And I
brand.
license it through my coach training program.
Oh my God.
All my coaches have to
Right.
get a license to use that brand.
Yes, that's it. So that's it. The other thing, become a certified coach to offer group coaching or mentoring programs to a specific market. So
Ooh,
tell
baby,
me about
go.
that one. I mean, this book, this was my favorite one. Step 8 was my favorite. This is a secret. I read books from the back to the front. Anybody else do that? I read it from the back to the
Are you
front.
serious?
I do. I read
Like,
it from the back. Because they always put the good stuff at the back. So I read from the back to the front. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh my God. Besides obviously investing in rental property, investing in stocks and things like that, but add a line to your brand. So talk about your certified coach program and how people can really do that and what you're doing with that.
hmm. This book,
I love that.
first of all, let me say this, Pam. Just hearing you read that, and the book, as you know, was written a few years ago. But look at how timely look at how prophetic it was, because it's hitting me today. Yeah, look at you, got your notes and whatnot.
It says an inner millionaire action workshop. It's like, okay, I like
Oh
this.
man.
And I want to tell you this. I love you. I love you. This right here, this Brandon Superstar University, this was the idea I got from this book. And that launched in 2017 and ran through 2018. But Brandon Superstar University, you remember when I was promoting that?
Yes.
That was from this.
Shut the front door.
That was it. So I'm telling you, it's a small book, but it will excite you to
Yeah.
really get going on the stuff that, it's really your hidden profit potential. The hidden profit potential. And licensing coaching was something that I got to get to next. So tell me about this.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. Here's the thing I know about you and probably most of the people watching us right now. You are a gold mine. All of the women that come into my practice, whether I'm their coach or someone else, or whether I'm their coach or, whatever the case might be, I'm like, sis, you are a gold mine. I can identify immediately 3 things that the sister can do to create what I call the systemic strategy. My podcast is Systenomics. And so your systemic strategy has to have multiple streams of income in it. If you look at any millionaire in the world right now, they didn't become a millionaire quickly with just one income stream.
No.
So if you're a gold mine, right, you should have more than one way that you're making money. And that is really the thing, Pam, as you know, that launched me into entrepreneurship. I used to be a radio and TV host, and I love my job. And that's all I did was radio talk show. But I only got 2 paychecks a month. And I knew, I was like, I want my coin. Like if I get 6 coins a month, 8, 10 checks a month, that's what I want. So that's when I started to do voiceovers for pay. That's when I started doing media training for pay. So now that's 2 income streams in addition to my job. And then I started doing workshops and speaking and all of that stuff. So suddenly I had like 7 streams of income. But here's the key. I needed to have passive income streams.
Yes.
In other words, income that I was making while I was asleep. And that's one of the reasons why, Pam, I wrote this book. Now, here's something I want to say is very important. I don't know who this is for, but I'm going to say it. Initially, my strategy was to write a proposal, pitch a big publishing company, because I was on the radio. So I kind of had like a built-in audience. So I was like, maybe a big publisher, McGraw-Hill or somebody will pick up my book. Kept getting no. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to wait for somebody to pick me. I'm going to pick myself.
There you
And this,
go.
self-publishing started really to kind of pick up steam. And so I was like, I wrote my book, self-published it, hired
And
my own
Amazon,
editor.
yes, and
All that.
Amazon distributors, yes.
Right. And so it's like, why wait for somebody to pick you when you can pick yourself? Because you are a gold mine, and there's so many things that you can offer to this world that you can monetize this. So that's one of the things I hope that we'll do this year.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And then your coaching program, basically, if you are a coach, learn how to uh, license your coaching program and the certification. So
Right.
one of the things that in this season, it's just all seasons too, for especially for African Americans, money has been a situation where a lot of us have struggled. Like not everybody, but a lot of us have struggled, from Michelle Obama growing up middle class in Chicago, this and that. So, so money has been a thing that most people really want to get a handle on. It's like, out of this generation, we're going to just go over this, right?
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about your program, and I'm going to move out for a second because I got to plug in my computer. So tell us about that.
All right, no problem. I got you. So my program is called the Overflow Coach Certification Program. And what I had this vision years ago. I actually launched the Overflow Coach Certification Program back in 2015 initially. And I knew then that I wanted to share these methodologies that I teach with others. In fact, it was one of my clients, one of my first coaching clients. She came to me and she said, Monique, working with you has made such a huge difference in my life. I know I want to do that for other women.
Wow.
I want you to train me to do what you did for me. Now, at that point, I had never, ever considered creating a coach training program. where I would train other coaches. I was like, no, I'm just a coach. I just coach women.
Right.
Training me, and she's like, but Monique, you're really good at this. Train me to do what you do. So she kept persisting and pushing and pushing. And finally I said, okay, well, let me just try. You'll be my guinea pig. And I brought in another sister who wanted to work with me. I was like, I'm going to start with y'all too. And let's just see how this goes. Train them. They got certified, great experience. Next year came, trained 5 more women.
Wow.
So with 7 overflow coaches now. After that, took a little break because, life was lifing. And so now this year we I'm calling it our resurrection year. Now we've restarted the program, got some new fresh content in there. I got women who already signed up. We start next week, and we are bringing this thing back to life, because here's the thing I know. When God gives you a vision, he's going to give you the provision. And when you feel a little bit scared or nervous about taking your thing, Pam, to the next level, that's a sign that you need to lean into that.
Right.
And I struggle with this. I was like, I don't know, God, if I want to do this. I don't know. But God was like, this is your year. 2023 is a year of perfection. It's a year of completion. Come on now, let's be bold this year. So I was like, I'm going to do it. So here we are. I'm training more overflow coaches to go out there in this world, teach the concepts that are in the book to others, so that there's more than just me and the other 7 coaches out here doing this work. We can make a huge impact on this nation, on our community, and on the world.
I love that. I love that. that is so key. When you know you have something really, really good and something really, really juicy, then other people are saying, teach me what you know so I can teach other people what it goes on and on. It's that whole commercials like, and they told someone and they told someone and they told someone. But now it's also a stream of income, not just coaching the people individually, but coaching the coaches so they can go and make impact. So that is really good. I see Sonia on here. She's a master podcast coach. So I don't know if you got what Monique was putting down, but really learn how to be that coach that teaches other coaches and certifies other coaches to go and do your methodology.
Right. And here's the thing, Pam, if I may, is that the concepts that the current overflow coaches use, they learn the training from me on how to coach others, but they don't have like the overflow brand out front. But what they do have is those concepts and those techniques that I've taught them, and they've integrated those concepts into their own brands. So they just expanded what they're already doing, and each and every single one of them, without exception, is making a difference in the marketplace, in the work that they do and we're already doing. They just added that additional layer of coach training. Because here's the thing, a lot of women watching us right now, they're the ones that everybody goes to for advice, for guidance. Let me pick your brain. But they ain't paying you for that. Like, and you giving all this good advice and whatnot. When you become trained in the techniques of a coach, now you can not only help people create a lasting impact through the counsel that you give them, but you can also get paid with that credential behind your name. So it's something to consider.
I love that. The credential. That is really it. The credential, because it has the credibility, because the program worked. They went through it. And so they want to make sure that they are doing that. So the book is called How to Embrace Your Inner Millionaire. It is on Amazon. We are on Amazon Live right there. And I see my folks over here giving us stars as well. Thank you so much, Amazon Live over here. And then also to want to make sure that you go to Overflow Now. You see it up on the screen, but overflownow.com is the new site where we are doing the overflow, and it tells the whole story. And then also too, you can get to Sisternomics podcast, which is really, really great. Again, like I said, this book was one of the things that kind of launched a lot of different ideas. I sat and I read it and I was like, oh my God, it was like, okay, these are the things that I had to do. And one of the things too, you says create a product or service that you can sell on your website and make you money for you while you're asleep. And so if you don't know how to do that, that is something that maybe working with the coach like Monique Caradine-Kitchens could help you with, but she'll just stir it up. The gift is already inside of you. So just stir up the gift. A lot of times we just need a coach. And I like the fact that you're really targeting or directing your message to African American women so that they can go and impact their communities. And, I love the fact that you're doing that. You're targeting Speakers Magazine. It's primarily for African American speakers. So, when we read your story, people can relate. And, one of the things about when you see people who are successful and seeing them like you, it makes such a big difference. And so I really just appreciate the fact that you are in there sharing your story, very transparent in your story. So that really helps as well. So our February issue was out as well. The cover of our back is our cover for February. So we always do that. Remember, we do the back cover and then the front cover. So yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of like that the way that we do that. So yeah, so that is it. So is there anything else that we mentioned the podcast, we mentioned the book, your coaching program, your certification program? Are you speaking anywhere in person soon? I do want to say that I want to come to Chicago and meet another author that is going to be there. Was that one of the bookstores? Her name is Nedra, and the book is called No More Drama or something like that. But anyway, I'll text you about it. But it's another book that's really, really big, and she's going to be in Chicago. And I was going to just fly into Chicago. I think the host of it is Lovey Adajay, I believe, and
Oh, love you, Ajayi. Yeah.
she's hosting Nedra.
Whoa, that's gonna
Yeah,
be good.
it's gonna be good. So that's one of the things too. So she's doing like a whole tour. She's gonna be in Detroit as well. But I want to hear Lovey interview her as well. So maybe we can meet up and do like a girls trip in Chicago to a bookstore where it's a site. That's some nerdy stuff, isn't it? It's like we don't go to Vegas. We go try to be a girls trip to a bookstore.
I love it. Give me the dates and maybe we can link up there.
I love stuff like that. I love good books because they can change your life. Let me tell
Absolutely.
you. And so if Pam Perry's Picks, I do this when there's a book that I know that really will change people's lives. So make sure that you do go and get the book. There's a thing where you get the book now and maybe you don't read it right now, but when God has you pick it up, it could be the right time for you. So get
Absolutely.
it so that you can have it at least there, and then go to Overflow now and get on her list so you'll know what Monique is up to. And she's got a whole lot of stuff coming out, busting out in 2023, doing some things. Oh my God, that is it. I love it. I love it. I'm telling you, when God told me 2023 was a year for you, I was like, I haven't talked to her in a while. I don't know what she's doing. It was like, this is it. This is the time for you.
It was absolutely divine. And I thank you for the opportunity. Like you know me, I mean, you kind of know that I'm a bit of an introvert. Doing stuff like this is, it pushes me out of my comfort zone. I know I have this big confident public persona but
Your message precedes what it is that you have to do. So the message that you have to share precedes how you feel about it. Okay, it ain't got nothing to do with you. We just got to get the story out. So yeah, we're gonna step past what you feel. We're gonna put this out here because people need to know you. And she's been on like different radio shows. She's been on Sirius X. I mean, it's like let's go,
right.
because
And
people's money depends on the information that they receive, whether they want to be a business coach or any of those things. They have blocks that need to be unblocked. So I
yeah,
just told you about how my whole program, the Brand Superstar University, came because reading this book. It was literally this part right here. When I wrote it, it was there, and it was like host a workshop, bada bada bada, how to blah, blah, and then it says Brand Superstar University, and that's where the name came from. I had the whole logo and all that kind of stuff. It's still on Facebook.
I can't believe that you did not tell me that before now. That is incredible.
I was busy putting it together.
Doing your thing. I ain't mad. Okay.
I was like, and the whole thing, it was like every week, this is 2017, so it was before Zoom and all that was really caught on. But every week we would do a class. We would, and I did it for a season, like 26, 2 seasons, like 13 weeks and then 13 weeks. So I did for 26 weeks, and every week I would have hundreds of people on. I would charge them $7, and we would actually talk about different parts of the brand, and we would talk to people every single week for 26 weeks, and hundreds of people will be on it. And this was on a conference call. It was not even on like a Zoom. It was so crunchy. But the idea was like, sometimes I'm telling this to people, sometimes completion is better than perfection. Please just get it going. Just get it going.
I need
And
to
one
write
of
that
those
down
ladies, and
right
one
there.
of those one of those ladies from that event, Liz. No, because she's already said this to me publicly and said it before. She says, Pam, with those $7 classes, she says sometimes I would have to scrape the money together to even get on those classes during that time. Now Liz is doing New York Fashion Week. She's doing fashion shows. She's doing pageants. She's a go-to person for TV sets. She's like a stylist, right? She's an image consultant and stylist. And she would get on. She says, I learned about branding from you from those branding superstar classes. Now I don't know who else, because I'm very bad about like really getting a lot of testimonials, but she offered that up and I was like, oh my God. I said, that was such a good idea. She says, no, literally some weeks just putting that $7 in that PayPal would just kind of like sometimes like, okay, I'm stretching.
Man, hold on. Can we take that in for just 1 second? I know we got to get off of here in a minute, but just please. So here's what I want people to get out of that. In addition to that powerful message that you just shared. Because I didn't wait for somebody to pick me. I picked myself and self-published my book, right? Mm-hmm. I did that. Pam then got the idea from reading the book to create Branding University. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Liz, who scraped up $7 to come to that, is now doing her thing out in the world in fashion and image consulting. Mm-hmm. Now, imagine if I would have been like, well, ain't nobody picking up my proposal, so I just ain't gonna write the book. Right. Pam may not have come up with Branding University, and Liz might be still trying to scrape up $7. Yeah. So, yes, there are people attached to your purpose on your life. There are people attached to the calling on your life, and that's why it's so important for you to step into your calling, not just so that you're living out your purpose, but so that other people can get the permission to do the same thing. Mm-hmm, that's so powerful, Pam. I just can't believe I didn't know that before now, but thank you so much for sharing that. Oh, thank you. I just put in Liz's link too. She was in New York Weekly, because I do quick media coverage, right? So she was in New York Weekly. Fashion and style beauty guru Liz Everett shares a few secrets for building a notable brand. Unbelievable. She was there for all 6 weeks, and now she's going out teaching it. It's like she gives her few secrets of building a notable brand. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, Liz. I said, we got this. We got this. Good afternoon. Shout out to Liz. Shout out to you, Pam Perry, because listen, you are the GOAT. Do you hear me? You've been in the game for a whole minute. And thank you. We got a quick question from Detroit Nail Association, or Detroit Nail Assassin. I guess this is nail person. How do we clear out clutter in small spaces? That is, clearing out clutter creates clarity. So that's the thing. Listen, that could be a workshop right there. How do you clear it out? I'll tell you how you clear it out. Throw it away. Get a big garbage bag and just walk around with it. Yeah. And just do it. If you haven't touched it, what was the D's? If you haven't touched it, you could give it away, you can throw it away, you can delegate, but the main thing is take the garbage bag around you and just really just start dumping it, delegate it, and I think or donate it. That's it. Dump it, delegate, or donate it. And just, if it doesn't fit in those three, then just dump it. Because when reality is, if you haven't touched it in a while, it's like, what is this? It's just taking up space. And so if you clear out the clutter, you'll get more clarity. Clarity equals cash flow. It equals cash flow. So right now you're blocking your flow when you got all this clutter. Word right there. Clutter. It was real funny. Mark, my husband, yesterday said something. He says, we ought to have a party and everybody gets a coffee mug. He said, we got about 1 million coffee mugs. I was like, and we don't even drink that much coffee. I was like, what are we doing with all these mugs? I'm like, I'm going to donate a coffee mug or ugly coffee mug day or something. I said, because this is crazy. We got too many coffee mugs taking up room. I said, this is crazy. We can't even put them up there. And so whenever someone gives us one, it's like, oh, they give them as a little premium. Here's a little mug. It's like, oh my God, I got to make space. So anyway. That's just a little side thing, but I hope that helped, Detroit Nail Assassin, and thank you, Sonia, for joining us today. But
the main thing we're doing the Amazon Live. Buy the book. Buy the book. The book is called How to Embrace Your Inner Millionaire. And it's right on Amazon. You can get it there right now. So,
Yeah.
you know,
And let me say this, Pam, if I may.
Mhm.
On Amazon, they'll have the digital version of the book, the Kindle version.
Mhm.
And if you want the hard copy, you could just go to my site.
Oh,
Definitely, if Kindle is your thing, go to Amazon. But the thing that the Amazon version doesn't have is like this little journal part at the back where you can like write down
right.
all of your money ideas. I know it's hard to see that.
But I have it.
Yeah, but the Kindle version doesn't have that. So if you really want to get in there like Pam did and really get in the margins and write down your ideas, there's so
That's what
many
I do.
spaces throughout the book. If you get the actual hard copy from the
Mhm.
site at
Mhm.
overflownow.com/resources, then you can get in there and just write and highlight and dog ear the pages. And really, this will become, for some women, this has become like their right next to their Bible. Like they
On
refer
your
to it.
nightstand. Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
It's
on
a
my nightstand.
very
That's why before I started, I couldn't find it. I was like, where is it? I have it all over the place, right? I'm carrying it with me. It's like, okay, was it on my nightstand? Was it in the family room? Where did I have it last? You know, it's like just I don't let people borrow books. That's how we would break up friendships. So you out get your own. Okay, you can hold it, but you're gonna get that back. Get that back. I'm really like books are one thing I will not get rid of. Come about clearing up clutter. I will not unless I'm giving away a book. I do not play about you borrowing.
Right.
We don't borrow books. And you can't become an Amazon bestseller if everybody's gonna borrow and pass it along. Okay, so everybody needs to buy their own book. Don't pass it along.
I agree.
I think a lot of Black people could be bestsellers if we weren't just passing these books along.
That part. That part.
All right. Well, thank you, Monique. Thank you, Dr. Monique. This has been so good. So good. Well, thank you. And make sure that people go to Speakers Magazine, read the magazine as well. You can reach out to her through the magazine as well. You'll see her video that is on that page as well. All righty. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And I will talk with you later. All righty. God bless.